The story opens in the grand halls of the Galactic Federation, where representatives from dozens of alien species gather for their monthly council meeting. The atmosphere buzzes with arrogance and superiority as various alien races discuss the newest members to join their ranks. The humans. Commander Vex of the blue-skinned Altari leads the discussion, his forearms gesturing dismissively as he addresses the assembly. "These humans," he says with a laugh that sounds like grinding metal, "they speak of legends and myths as if they were real history." The insectoid hive queen Zara clicks her mandibles in agreement. Her compound eyes glitter with amusement as she recalls recent human diplomatic meetings. "They told us stories of invisible ships that could appear from nowhere. Ghost fleets, they called them. How primitive their imagination." Elder Keth of the crystalline Vorthan species resonates with low-frequency mockery. His translucent body glows brighter as he shares his thoughts. "In our databases, we found human entertainment files about something called stealth technology. They dream of ships that cannot be detected, of warriors who strike from shadows. Such childish fantasies." The council chamber erupts in various forms of alien laughter, chirps, growls, harmonic tones, and clicking sounds. Each species contributes their own mockery of human culture and traditions. Captain Rex of the militaristic Gordani Empire pounds his scaled fist on the table. Their military records speak of ghost soldiers and phantom units. When we asked for proof, they showed us blurry photographs and unverified reports. Clearly, they mistake their entertainment for reality. The Altari commander nods, his blue skin rippling with satisfaction. "We offered them protection under our advanced fleet systems." Their Admiral Tom simply smiled and said, "We have our own ways," as if their primitive vessels could match our quantum shield technology. Queen Zara's hive mind consciousness shares a collective memory with the assembly. During the integration ceremony, they spoke of Earth's legendary ghost ships that could travel between dimensions. When pressed for technical specifications, they claimed the knowledge was classified for galactic security. What a convenient excuse for ignorance. The mood in the chamber grows more condescending as Elder Keth projects holographic images of human spacecraft. The vessels appear standard, unremarkable, compared to the sleek designs of Federation ships. "Look at these crude constructions," he resonates. "Metal hulls, basic fusion drives, primitive weapon systems. They speak of invisibility, yet we can detect every rivet and weld seam." As the meeting progresses, the aliens share intelligence. Reports about human military capabilities. Everything appears straightforward and documented. Carrier fleets, fighter squadrons, orbital defense platforms. Nothing suggests the advanced stealth technology humans claim to possess. Captain Rex reviews tactical assessments on his holographic display. "Our scouts have mapped every human military installation. Standard formations, predictable patterns, conventional strategies. If they truly possessed ghost fleets, surely we would have detected some evidence by now." The council members exchange knowing looks, their various forms of communication creating a symphony of derision. They view humans as newcomers desperate to impress their technological superiors with tall tales and fabricated legends. Commander Vex stands to address the assembly. "One final time, let us welcome our human friends into the Federation with patience and understanding. Perhaps in time, they will abandon these childish stories and learn from truly advanced civilizations." The session concludes with unanimous agreement that human claims of stealth technology are nothing more than cultural mythology mixed with wishful thinking. The aliens file out of the chamber, comfortable in their technological superiority and amused by human naivety, unknown to the departing council members. A small distortion in space-time ripples near the chamber's viewing ports. For just a moment, starlight bends strangely around an invisible shape the size of a battleship. The anomaly lasts only seconds before space returns to normal, leaving no trace of its presence. Admiral Tom sits in his command chair aboard the hidden vessel, watching the alien council through advanced observation systems. His weathered face shows no emotion as he listens to their mocking laughter through intercepted communications. Behind him, his crew works silently at their stations, their ship remaining completely invisible to all Federation sensors. "Sir," whispers his communications officer, "should we reveal ourselves and correct their assumptions?" The Admiral shakes his head slowly, his eyes never leaving the departing alien ships. "Not yet, Lieutenant. Let them keep believing their stories. Sometimes the best legends are the ones people refuse to believe until it's too late." As the Federation vessels jump to hyperspace, the human ghost fleet remains in the shadows, watching and waiting. The first phase of humanity's true introduction to galactic politics has begun. 3 months after the Council meeting, the Federation faces its first major crisis since humanity joined their ranks. The Void Raiders, a mysterious pirate faction that has plagued the Outer Rim for decades, launched their most audacious attack yet, striking directly at the Federation's primary trade hub, Station Alpha 7. The assault comes without warning. Massive black ships materialize from hyperspace, their hulls absorbing light like hungry shadows. Energy weapons lance out from the void, tearing through station shields as if they were paper. The Federation's response is swift but futile. "Commander." Vex leads the Altari defense fleet, his ships racing toward the battle zone with weapons charged and shields raised. "All units, maintain formation," he broadcasts across tactical channels. These pirates may be bold, but they face the might of Federation technology. The blue-skinned commander's confidence shatters within minutes. Void Raider vessels phase in and out of reality, striking from impossible angles before vanishing again. Their weapons cut through Federation armor like it doesn't exist, while return fire passes harmlessly through empty space. Captain Rex arrives with Gordani reinforcements, his scaled features twisted in frustration as his targeting systems fail to lock onto the enemy ships. "Impossible," he roars. "Our sensors show nothing, but they're destroying everything." The insectoid hive queen Zara coordinates evacuation efforts while her combat drones swarm uselessly through space, unable to locate targets that exist one moment and disappear the next. Her collective consciousness reels with confusion as established physics seem to mean nothing to these attackers. Elder Keth's crystalline form resonates with panic as his people's energy-based vessels prove completely ineffective. The Vorthan weapons rely on precise targeting calculations, but how can they aim at ships that exist outside normal spacetime? Within hours, Station Alpha 7 burns in the void. Thousands of Federation citizens flee in escape pods while their mighty fleet retreats in disorder. The Void Raiders vanish as suddenly as they appeared, leaving behind only destruction and unanswered questions. Emergency sessions convene across Federation space. Military leaders struggle to explain their crushing defeat, while politicians demand answers that don't exist. Every sensor recording shows the same impossible phenomenon: weapons firing from empty space, shields failing against attacks that instruments cannot detect. Admiral Tom receives the distress call while his ghost fleet maintains position near Earth's outer moon. His tactical officers present the battle data, their faces grim as they analyze the Federation's defeat. "Sir," reports his intelligence chief, "the Void Raiders are using phase shift technologies similar to our own stealth systems, but far more advanced. They can exist partially outside our dimensional space." The Admiral studies the holographic replay of the battle, noting how Federation ships fired blindly into empty space, while invisible enemies struck with precision. "How long have these raiders been operating?" "Decades, sir." Federation records show hit-and-run attacks dating back 40 years. They've always avoided direct confrontation until now. Tom's weathered hands grip his command chair as understanding dawns. The Void Raiders haven't suddenly become more powerful. They've always possessed technology that makes Federation ships look primitive. Something has changed their strategy. From harassment to open warfare, across the galaxy, Federation leaders desperately seek solutions to their new nightmare. Emergency military budgets pour into research programs, while scientists struggle to understand technology that shouldn't exist according to their physics models. Commander Vex submits his battle report with shaking hands, his forearms trembling, as he describes weapons that fire from nowhere and ships that exist between dimensions. The proud Altari warrior has never experienced such complete helplessness in battle. The Federation Council convenes an emergency session, their previous arrogance replaced by growing panic. Trade routes shut down as merchant vessels refuse to travel without military escort. Even escorted convoys face destruction when Void Raider attacks overwhelm their protectors. Queen Zara's hive mind consciousness shares collective terror as her. People realize their technological superiority means nothing against enemies who fight from outside reality itself. Drone swarms that once seemed invincible now appear pathetically inadequate. Elder Keth's resonant frequencies carry notes of despair as Vorthan. Energy weapons prove useless against targets that phase between dimensions. His species has relied on precise calculations for millennia, but mathematics fails when enemies exist. In impossible spaces, Captain Rex pounds his scaled fist against tactical displays, showing empty space where devastating attacks originate. Gordani military doctrine emphasizes overwhelming firepower, but cannons cannot destroy what they cannot target. As Federation space burns and their fleets retreat in confusion, Admiral Tom makes a decision that will change everything. He opens a secure channel to Federation Command, his message simple and direct. This is Admiral Tom of the Terran Defense Force. We're aware of your current difficulties with the Void Raiders. Perhaps it's time we discuss those human legends you found so amusing. The transmission ends, leaving Federation leaders staring at communication screens in shocked silence. The Federation Council chamber buzzes with desperate energy as alien leaders gather for the most important session in their organization's history. The Void Raider attacks have intensified, with 3 more stations destroyed and countless ships lost to enemies that strike from nowhere. Commander Vex paces before the assembly, his blue skin pale with exhaustion. Dark circles ring his eyes as he delivers another devastating report. The Meridian convoy was hit 6 hours ago. 47 merchant vessels, 23 escort ships, all destroyed. Our sensors detected nothing until the explosions began. Elder Keth's crystalline form flickers with unstable energy patterns as stress disrupts his natural frequencies. Our greatest minds work around the clock, but we cannot comprehend technology that violates fundamental physics. How do you fight enemies that exist outside reality? The chamber falls silent as Admiral Tom's image appears on the central communication screen. His weathered human face shows calm confidence that contrasts sharply with the panic surrounding him. Behind him, glimpses of an unfamiliar bridge hint at technology the Federation has never seen. Honored council members, Tom begins, his voice carrying the weight of hard-earned experience. I believe we need to discuss those human legends you dismissed so easily. Queen Zara's mandibles click with desperate hope. Admiral, if humanity possesses any knowledge that could help us understand these attacks, we implore you to share it. Our people die while we remain helpless against invisible enemies. Tom nods gravely, his expression never changing. For 40 years, the Void Raiders have operated in your space using phase shift technology. They exist partially outside normal dimensions, making them effectively invisible to your sensors and weapons. Captain Rex's scaled features twist with confusion and growing anger. If humans knew of this threat, why did you not warn us? Why allow these attacks to continue? Because, Tom replies calmly, every time we tried to explain, you laughed at our primitive legends and childish fantasies. You were so certain of your technological superiority that you refused to consider information from inferior humans. The Admiral gestures to someone off-screen, and new data streams appear on Federation displays. Technical specifications and battle recordings show human encounters with Void Raiders dating back decades. Ships emerging from nowhere, weapons firing from empty space, entire fleets vanishing without trace. Commander Vex studies the data with growing amazement and horror. These records, they show successful human engagements against Void Raider forces. How is this possible when our most advanced fleets cannot even detect them? Tom's image leans forward slightly, his eyes holding secrets that span generations. Because we developed our own phase shift technology long ago, we learned to fight fire with fire, to meet shadow with shadow. Our stealth fleets have been protecting human space and monitoring raider activities for 40 years. The revelation hits the chamber like a physical blow. Alien leaders who had mocked human legends now realize those stories were operational reports, not mythology. The primitive humans possessed technology beyond Federation understanding. Elder Keth's resonant voice carries notes of disbelief. The ghost ships you described in diplomatic meetings, they actually exist? Every Federation sensor in this star system is focused on my ship right now, Tom states matter-of-factly. What do your instruments tell you about my location? Frantic activity erupts as technicians check their equipment. Sensors show empty space where the transmission originates. Energy detectors find nothing. Gravitational measurements detect no mass distortion. According to every instrument, Admiral Tom broadcasts from nowhere. Queen Zara's collective consciousness reels with the implications. Your entire fleet, it's been here all along, hasn't it? Watching our meetings, observing our decisions completely. Invisible to our most sensitive equipment. The human stealth fleet has maintained overwatch positions throughout Federation space since our integration, Tom confirms. We've prevented 17 major raider incursions that would have devastated your colonies. You never knew because we preferred operating from the shadows. The chamber erupts in chaos as the full scope of human capabilities becomes clear. Species that had considered themselves technologically superior discover they've been protected by forces they cannot detect or understand. Captain Rex's voice carries the weight of military defeat. Why reveal yourselves now? Why not continue your hidden operations? Tom's expression hardens as tactical displays show recent raider movements. Because something has changed. The Void Raiders are massing for a final assault on Federation core worlds. Their fleet is larger than anything we've faced before, and they're using new technology that challenges even our capabilities. The Admiral pauses, letting the implications sink in before delivering his final statement. We can no longer protect you from the shadows alone. If the Federation is to survive what's coming, we must work together. But this time, perhaps you'll listen when we share our legends. The transmission ends, leaving Federation leaders staring at screens showing empty space where humanity's most advanced warship waits. Invisible and patient. The Federation Council Chamber transforms into a war room as alien leaders struggle to comprehend their new reality. Holographic displays show Federation, space dotted with human stealth vessels that had been operating undetected for decades. Admiral Tom's ghost fleet begins revealing itself in stages, each ship materializing from empty space like nightmares becoming real. The vessels appear alien even to advanced Federation eyes, hulls that seem to absorb light, surfaces that blur at the edges of perception. Technology that defies understanding. Commander Vex watches his tactical screens with growing amazement. As human ships decloak near Altari patrol routes, "Impossible," he whispers. These vessels were beside my ships for hours without triggering a single sensor alert. The human warships dwarf most Federation vessels, their dark hulls stretching for kilometers, while bristling with weapon systems that exist partially outside normal space. Energy signatures fluctuate in patterns that make tracking impossible, as if the ships exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Elder Keth's crystalline form resonates with frequencies of pure awe as he studies human phase shift technology. Their ships don't just achieve invisibility, he reports to the assembly. They operate in dimensional spaces our science cannot access. This technology is centuries beyond our current understanding. Admiral Tom's image reappears, now surrounded by command displays showing the true scope of human military capability. Behind him, officers work at stations incorporating technology that seems to bend reality itself. For 40 years, Tom begins, humanity has maintained a secret war against the Void Raiders. We've developed tactics and weapons specifically designed to fight enemies who exist between dimensions. Our stealth fleets have protected not just human space, but Federation territory. As well, Queen Zara's mandibles click with desperate curiosity. Your ships ... How do they achieve such complete invisibility? Our sensors detect nothing, not even gravitational displacement. Tom gestures to his tactical officer, a young woman whose fingers dance across controls that manipulate space-time itself. Our phase shift drives allow us to exist partially outside normal dimensional space. We can observe and interact with your reality while remaining effectively invisible to standard detection. Methods. The demonstration continues as human ships perform maneuvers impossible for conventional vessels. They phase through asteroid fields, appear inside enemy formations, and fire weapons that materialize from nowhere before vanishing again. Captain Rex studies the tactical implications with growing respect and fear. Your entire military doctrine is based on fighting invisible enemies. Standard Federation formations and strategies are useless against such opponents. Exactly, Tom confirms. The Void Raiders developed phase shift technology first, using it to raid and pillage across the galaxy. Humanity was forced to develop countermeasures when they began attacking our colonies. We learned to match their abilities and eventually surpass them. The Admiral's expression grows grave as he shares intelligence gathered over decades of shadow warfare. But something has changed recently. The Raiders are using new technology, more advanced than anything we've encountered. Their ships can phase deeper into dimensional space, making them harder to track, even for our specialized sensors. Holographic displays show recent battle footage as human stealth ships engage Void Raider forces in desperate combat. The engagements look like physics-defying nightmares. Weapons firing from empty space, explosions appearing from nowhere, ships existing in multiple locations simultaneously. Commander Vex realizes the scope of battles fought beyond Federation. Awareness. You've been at war this entire time, protecting us while we mocked your capabilities. How many human lives have been lost in this hidden conflict? Tom's weathered face shows the weight of decades spent in shadow warfare. Too many. But that's not important now. What matters is that the Raiders are preparing for their final assault. Intelligence suggests they plan to strike at the Federation core worlds within days. The chamber falls silent as alien leaders contemplate the approaching catastrophe. Their mighty fleets had proven useless against Raider technology, while human forces had been fighting this war for 40 years. Elder Keth's resonant voice carries notes of humility never heard before. What do you need from us, Admiral? How can the Federation assist in this conflict? Your fleets can't fight the Raiders directly, Tom admits bluntly, but they can serve other purposes. Evacuation of civilian populations, supply line protection, and most importantly, as bait to draw Raider forces into positions where our stealth ships can engage effectively. Queen Zara's collective consciousness processes the tactical requirements. You're asking us to use our fleets as decoys while your invisible ships deliver the real attacks. It's the only strategy that works against phase shift technology, Tom confirms. The raiders will focus on targets they can detect and understand. While they're engaged with your visible forces, our ghost fleet will strike from the shadows. As human ships continue materializing throughout Federation space, alien leaders begin to understand the true scope of the war. They're about to join **. The final battle begins not with the thunderous roar of conventional warfare, but with the eerie silence of enemies materializing from nowhere. Void Raider ships phase into reality around the Federation core worlds, their massive black hulls drinking starlight as weapons charge with malevolent energy. Admiral Tom coordinates the defense from his flagship, a vessel so advanced it exists in 7 dimensions simultaneously. Around him, the human ghost fleet positions itself in spaces between reality, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. All Federation forces maintain standard formations. Tom broadcasts across open channels, knowing the raiders monitor all communications. Proceed with evacuation protocols and defensive positioning. Commander Vex leads the visible Federation fleet, his ships forming protective barriers around civilian transports while appearing hopelessly outmatched. His blue skin trembles not with fear, but with the knowledge that invisible allies surround him. The Void Raiders attack with devastating precision, their phase-shifted weapons tearing through Federation shields as if they don't exist. Energy beams appear from empty space, while Raider ships flicker in and out of visibility, making targeting impossible. But this time, the Federation is not alone. Human stealth ships materialize behind Raider formations, their weapons already firing. As they phase into normal space, the battles that follow defy physics as ships fight across multiple dimensions, weapons crossing through folded space-time to strike targets that exist in parallel realities. Captain Rex watches in amazement as human vessels perform maneuvers that should be impossible. They phase through Raider ships to strike from within, appear above and below enemy formations simultaneously, and fire weapons that travel through dimensional corridors to hit targets from unexpected angles. How are they doing this? Queen Zara's voice carries across tactical channels as her sensors struggle to track battles fought partially outside normal space. Tom's response comes through dimensional communication, arrays that bypass conventional physics. 40 years of fighting shadow wars teaches you to become the shadow. We learned their tricks, then developed our own. The tide of battle shifts as human ghost ships demonstrate capabilities that surpass even Raider technology. Where the enemy can exist in 3-dimensional phases, human vessels operate across 7. Where Raiders can partially phase their weapons, humans fire through dimensional portals that ignore distance and obstacles. Elder Keth's crystalline form resonates with frequencies of pure wonder as he witnesses technology that redefines possibility itself. The legends were not just true, he realizes. They were understatements. The largest Raider dreadnought, a ship the size of a small moon, phases into the heart of the battle. Its weapons could destroy entire fleets. Its armor could withstand stellar fire, and its phase shift capabilities make it nearly invulnerable to conventional attack. Admiral Tom's flagship responds by doing something the Raiders thought impossible. It phases deeper into dimensional space than their technology can follow. The human vessel becomes more legend than reality, existing in spaces between spaces where physics becomes poetry. The ghost ship strikes from 7 dimensions simultaneously, its weapons appearing inside the Raider dreadnought's hull while existing outside its defensive systems. The massive enemy vessel, ruler of shadow warfare for decades, finds itself outmatched by legends that have become terrifyingly real. As the Raider flagship dies in explosions that span multiple realities, their remaining forces realize they face something beyond their understanding. The humans they had dismissed as primitive have developed technology that makes raider capabilities look crude in comparison. The retreat begins as surviving void raiders phase deeper into dimensional space than ever before, fleeing to refuges they believe humans cannot access. They discover too late that human ghost ships can follow them anywhere, pursuing across realities until the last raider vessel is destroyed or driven beyond the galaxy's edge. Commander Vex watches the aftermath in stunned silence as human ships begin phasing back into invisibility. The Federation fleet had served its purpose as visible targets, but the real battle was fought by legends that few eyes could perceive. Admiral Tom, Vex broadcasts on open channels. On behalf of the Federation, we owe humanity a debt we can never repay. You protected us while we mocked your capabilities. Tom's response carries the weight of decades spent in shadow warfare. No debt is owed, Commander. Protecting life is what legends are supposed to do. As the human ghost fleet fades back into invisibility, alien leaders across the galaxy begin rewriting their understanding of human capabilities. The species they had dismissed as primitive storytellers commanded technology that operated beyond comprehension. The Federation Council reconvenes. In the aftermath, no longer mocking human legends, but requesting to learn from them. Admiral Tom appears on their screens one final time, his weathered face showing satisfaction at a war finally ended. The Void Raiders are gone, he reports simply. Your space is safe. As for human stealth fleets, well, you'll never see us. Unless you need to. That's what ghost ships do best. The transmission ends, leaving Federation leaders staring at empty space where humanity's greatest legends continue their eternal watch. ****